Hey again from the garden, it's Christina from Sunshine and Flora. So I'm out here doing some random tasks today and I wanted to hop on and just share a couple things with you guys. The first thing that I want to talk about in this video are my self-seeding cut flowers, or what I call my free cut flowers for this year. I have numerous varieties that have self-seeded themselves around the garden. I recently had a cut flower friend over here and she was amazed by the self-seeding luck that I was having. So I want to talk about that in this video to show you guys those. I would say most of them don't need attention or maintenance right now, but some of them do. So I want to share that with you. The other thing I want to share with you in this video, oh, the sun's starting to come out. Gosh, that feels good. It's been so windy and cold lately and rainy. We just had 2 inches of rain in the last couple days, which is amazing. But it's kind of brisk out here today. Anyway, the second thing I want to share with you guys are a couple of building projects that my husband and I did over the weekend. Not building as in my building, building as in we built a couple things. So I want to show you the self-seeding plants first, the new projects second. So the first plants I want to show you is in the fenced-in garden. This is the original garden area that I have always grown flowers in. And you can see it's looking really good. I've got Lisianthus and snapdragons growing here. They really liked the rain. I just recently weeded this entire area, so it's looking very neat and tidy. I also recently prepped this area for planting. This is going to be status, and I may actually pop these in later today. You'll probably see that on another video. But the first self-seeded plants that I want to share with you guys, and this is one of the things I'm going to show you on the video, we're going to weed and thin this out. But in the midst of, these are weeds. Let me get these out of here first. This area is kind of a mess after the storms that we had. Okay, so in the midst of this, these are all self-seeded bells of Ireland, and I have grown, here's a really good one. Look at how tall that one's getting. I've grown bells of Ireland in this area for the last few years, and I kind of say since I grew it once here, I probably will always have bells of Ireland here, and I am totally okay with that. I have only planted bells of Ireland ever once. It was in this area, and every year they come back and self-seed, and I absolutely love it. So this is the first area that we're going to be working on thinning out. I think I want to walk you around and show you all the self-seeded things first before we actually work on things. So let's hop over to the next area. So the next little area is right over here next to the building. This is a patch of geum that I planted. I don't think I showed this in a video. This is the totally tangerine. These came as plugs from Farmer Bailey. They also loved the rain, and I'm hoping that these just really thicken up over the course of the year, develop as strong plants, and then next year I can harvest off of them. There's also some more geum over here. I have a hydrangea over here that I'm going to plant in this spot, but some of this is weeds, but some of this is self-seeded bupleurum. So I need to kind of work on this area, thin it out. Woo, there's a little wind gust. I've also got some yarrow coming up in here. I can't decide if I'm going to keep that or not. Here is a larger bupleurum, but some of these small seedlings, like you can see this one and this one, and as they get taller, they're a lot easier to tell. I need to work on this area because I want to keep this bupleurum, because bupleurum is an amazing filler and it grows really, really good in this spot, which is partial shade. I hope the wind and everything is okay today and not really hindering how you guys can hear me. I guess I'll find out when I go to edit this video. The next spot is right over here. I'm going to show you something that self-seeds that I do not want and that I highly recommend not letting go. Okay, so over here, this whole bed is self-seeded sunflowers, and one year I thought it would be really cool to let this whole area fill in with self-seeded sunflowers. It was not a good idea. They completely got out of hand. They spread more every year. They grew up over my fence. They hindered the beds nearby. So while yes, these are free, these all need to come out. And you can see I actually have some lilies coming up. I am right off of Main Street, so the storm brought in some trash. That's gonna get cleaned up today too, don't worry. But all these sunflowers need to go, because see, I actually do want these lilies to grow well this year. And the lilies are just right next to here, so I'm gonna be planting something else here, but this is a bad self-seed. There's definitely bad self-seeds, and that's one of them. I need to get rid of those. But I wanna walk you out to another area to show you a really, really good self-seed. My flower friend could not believe it. I am so excited to show you this. Let's go out to the newer area of the garden. And I gotta really watch where I walk, because oh my gosh, it's so muddy today. I recently worked on this area, weeded it. Well, for the most part, there's a couple random weeds in there. Replanted areas that didn't winter over with Rudbeckia. This is gonna be a sea of Sahara Rudbeckia. I can't wait. We are heading over here by the hoop house. Okay, so status of this garden bed. This will all be zinnias. It's not cleaned out from last season. Don't worry, that will happen this week. This is a perennial bed of the Fama pincushion flower, Eryngium, Salvia, feverfew. This is also Salvia feverfew, but this section last year with annuals, but do you see what is coming up? That is all feverfew. It is pretty much everywhere. And all of this green along the edge of my landscape fabric, all the way around here, still green, still green. This is all self-seeded feverfew. Now I had feverfew growing, this is all salvia and feverfew. I had feverfew growing here last year. Most of them didn't come back, but it all self-seeded. So I've got to decide how much to keep. So this is the area that I've really got to work on. I've got to decide how much to keep, how much to actually pull. I think a couple of the sections I am going to keep, I'm just going to thin them out so those plants can get bigger, because I always feel like I can never have enough feverfew. So I definitely want to keep some of this. Oh, it's getting so windy. Brr. I'm gonna have to bundle up again. And then over here, this bed always is a nice self-seeding bed, and it doesn't look very good now, but this is all saponaria, and I'm just gonna let it go. I know there's not very many stems, but why not? These beds here need reworked because this area floods. It doesn't have very good drainage. I know I mention that every year. We're gonna be on it this year with something, but till this actually gets fully planted, I'm gonna harvest the saponaria and larkspur. Okay, so I need to find my kneeling pad, and the first thing we're gonna do is work on those bells of Ireland. Where would I have put my kneeling pad? I found it. It's over here by the peonies because I recently cleaned this bed out. This was all Rudbeckia in front, and I got a few plants to come back, but I have more Rudbeckia I'm going to be planting here, but the peonies are looking good. So let's grab this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna very carefully come in here. I'm gonna remove the weeds, which these pull so easy because we just had all that rain. Get the bark out of there. And then the smaller bells of Ireland plants around the edge, I'm gonna pull those too. There we go. Oh, there's still a weed in here. There we go. I hope you can't hear the garbage truck right now that's across the alley. Okay, so this cell looks much better. I actually left two, whoops, there's still yet another weed. I actually left two, well, maybe three. Let's get rid of this one. Okay, now I think it's good. I've got one really nice big plant and another one over here, and I'm gonna leave it at that. But doesn't that look so much better? So that's what I need to go through and do all the way around here and all the way to the back there. And I've got a bunch along the edge here. I just need to decide what I'm gonna do with those as well. So I'm gonna set the camera up and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. All right, so this area is looking so much better. Oops, I forgot to do this one, but I have it thinned down to way less plants per cell. And I am gonna just water these in to settle the soil when I'm done. Couple of these, there's some bells of Ireland and this mountain mint in here. I'm just gonna leave that as well because this whole patch of mountain mint is looking amazing and I love this as a filler. But gosh, these bells of Ireland are looking so much better. I love bells of Ireland. They're so unique. I don't know if you've ever seen when florists have bells of Ireland, but there's nothing like homegrown bells of Ireland. They do not look like when florists have them shipped in, that's for sure. And I did thin some along the edge here. I don't want all of these, but I think I am gonna leave a few. So just kind of, and then I'm gonna have to clean this area up. The rainstorm did all this. It just kind of washes it in, but it's looking so much better. Now I just need to tackle this back area. I should probably have gloves on. All right, that area looks a lot better. So there's a few holes that don't even have anything, but I cleaned these out to just a couple or a few plants. I did leave a yarrow in there. There is one feverfew somewhere, I think right over here, but that looks a lot better. Those should grow nicely. Okay, I think I'm gonna break for lunch, maybe put some warmer clothes on. This video will continue when I'm trying to figure out what to do with all that feverfew. All right, I'm back. I have more layers on. I got my ear band on. Let's go start taking care of that feverfew. And then I actually have an area that I want to plant in this video too. Oh my gosh, my kale is just loving this cold weather, and spinach. I'm gonna have to do a harvest. Okay, so as far as this feverfew goes, this is what I'm gonna do, because this is what I did in the hoop house. I'm gonna clear away all of this dead stuff, and then anything that is in here that is sprouting, I'm not gonna thin this, I'm gonna leave it. I'm just gonna let it come up. There's a few weeds in here, of course I'm gonna get rid of those. But that's how I'm gonna handle these areas. As far as along here, I'm gonna try and maybe just kinda, I don't know, do one of these and maybe get rid of some of the plants. I don't know, I don't wanna make this all muddy, but we'll kinda see how that goes. Maybe I can just kinda, oh yeah, I might just kinda do this. Pull a bunch of them, but leave a couple. I also don't want roots growing into my rock and disturbing my landscape fabric. I don't know. We'll see how that goes, but let's start off with doing this first, getting rid of the dead stuff. Oh my gosh, you guys, it looks so much better. Let me show you. I'm gonna try and block the wind a little bit. I don't know if that's possible, but I cleaned all the weeds out of here. It looks so much better without all that extra tulip foliage. And now I kept the feverfew in this area. I do have more feverfew, and there's a couple columbine in here. I have columbine plants also, a few. So this area, at least this front part, I'll probably fill in with more feverfew and columbine. I left these for now, but I'm not sure what I'm gonna put here. Probably annuals. This Veronica, I realized at the beginning of the video I kept saying salvia. This is Skylar Veronica. These were blown over from the wind, so I just kind of came through, pushed the plant down in the mud, put the mud around it to secure them, and I think they're gonna be fine. You can see that one over there particularly is growing really bent. That's because it was laying on its side. So these should correct themselves. This I haven't done anything with. I probably just need to cut the bloom stalks, but I've actually got some Fama pincushion flowers starting to bloom. And clearly, these Eryngium, they're the blue glitter and the white glitter, are loving life. Then let's start at this end. This was a mix of either the Veronica or the feverfew. So if there was Veronica, I left the Veronica. If there was feverfew, I left the feverfew. Feverfew's all self-seeded. This is the lone Veronica plant down here that was surviving. These, on the other hand, look amazing. These are, is this third-year plants? I think these are a year and a half old because I think they were fall planted. So I'm not sure if these are white or purple. Again, I'm sorry about the wind. I hope you guys can hear me okay. Oh, and I just realized I was blocking the camera with my glove. Okay, so here you can see feverfew. I left the Veronica. I cleared the feverfew out from the base of the Veronicas and then left the feverfew here. So this area is so much improved. I am really happy with these two perennial rows. Next week or the end of this week, I will tackle the zinnia row because it's too cold to plant out zinnias, so they're okay anyway. The last thing I want to do in this video besides, well, you know what? Let me show you the projects that we did this weekend now. Then I want to go plant some Rudbeckia. Okay, first of all, this is my greenhouse. It has never looked so sad. The windstorm completely tore the roof off. We have it. It will be fixed. We are going to rebuild it with wood. Just like we did, you can see the back is wood and we have wood bracing around the whole base of the greenhouse. We're gonna build the roof with wood. That's me and my dad project, probably next week. So never fear, the greenhouse is here to stay. But this is what my husband and I did this weekend. The back bed was here last year. I got these two beds from Vijega. They sent them out last year and I never put them together. They are so nice. They are 6.5 feet this way, 2.5 feet this way. The plants, they're gonna be okay. Actually, they don't look too bad. A couple of the peppers look a little sadder. I've got 2 tomatoes here. These aren't peppers, these are tomatillos. I have 4 tomatillos. Note, if you're gonna be growing tomatillos, you need more than 1. The leaves, they're just a little tattered. You guys, we had 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. It was absolutely crazy. That's why the greenhouse lost its roof. And that's why some of these peppers look a little sad. They'll be okay. They'll come out of it. The heat, they'll start putting on new growth. These are all peppers that were left over from what I planted in the greenhouse. Then, I'll put a picture up on the screen. My old compost bin was here. Look at what my husband built. We had all this wood from when we took over the building. This is 2-inch thick lumber by, some pieces are like 12 to 14 inches wide. This is huge hardwood. A lot of the boards were split, but he used what he could, and this is a brand new compost bin. It's got a wood base. This thing is not going anywhere. And you can see I've started putting some scraps in there already. But this is gonna be nice. So he built this weekend, and then we put these 2 beds together to go with this one. This is asparagus, but I also have, because the asparagus, we can't harvest it for a few years and it's gonna go away, you know, die back. I put a cantaloupe in here. I've got radishes. I've got a bunch of random celery plants, and these are all beets. I figured I might as well use the space. But this is gonna be the cutest little tucked in garden back here once the greenhouse is fixed. Okay, one more project. Let's go plant that Rudbeckia. Okay, so we're back in this first area that we were. This is the area that I had Rebecca last year, and I cleaned it all out, and a few came back. If I counted correctly, I have room along here for 38 plants. So I grabbed this tray, which is chimney or chimchurri, whatever it is. It's a new variety to me, so I think that'll look really pretty along here in front of the peonies. Oh, and I have a peony that I could harvest. I'll have to grab that and go put it in the cooler. So I've showed this area in other videos. These peonies are about 1.5 years old. You have to wait until peonies are at least 3 or more years old to harvest off of them. So I clipped all the buds and I'm just letting them put on growth this year. But when they are ready to harvest, they're gonna be beautiful. I have this patch, and yes, they are correctly spaced according to what I read online. Oh, and I gotta pick up that wood. I noticed that tipped over. So I have 22 in here, and then out in the other new area of the garden, I have a whole bunch more. All right, let's get the Rebecca in the ground. I'm not gonna even have to water these in. I kind of try to push I hope you guys can see me. I kind of try to push my thumb down in the ground, and that gives about the right size for the plug to go in. Then I just slide it right down in the hole, cover it with a little soil. All right, the plugs are planted. I had about the exact amount to go in here. These are gonna be so cute. Now my goal for a lot of my garden, even though it is technically a cut flower garden, is I want it to feel like a cottage garden. I want it to be cozy. I want things to be growing together right up next to each other. And I think this area is gonna be perfect. I do have rows in this area that you can see behind me, but you know, this is fenced in. I just want it cozy, a cottage garden feel that I can also harvest off of it for bouquets. And so in the last couple years, and this year included, I'm really trying to build up the perennials. Because if I can have a lot of perennials in my garden, those are things that are already established and will come up from year to year and be big, full plants, especially early in the season. That's why I planted the geums. I have the columbine, the feverfew. Those are all early season flowers that will develop on their own that I don't have to plant right away at the start of the year. So anyway, just wanted to share with you a little thought behind some of the things I'm doing. I'm gonna end this video here. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing me doing a little garden work today. There will be lots more to come. Trust me, I have a lot of work to do, so I'll try to document it all for you guys. Hope you're having a great day. Please subscribe to my channel, and we will see you soon.